Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I want to talk about something very important that very few people discuss in the trading space. This is something I wish someone had told me at the start of my journey. Something that will help you determine whether you have an edge in the market, whether you should work on your technical edge, your psychology, or both. Today I'm going to talk about the right way to backtest and gather data to build a statistically proven strategy. So most traders, when going through the backtesting phase, they encounter two common problems. First problem is the lack of systematic backtesting. So most traders don't backtest their strategy systematically, and what they often do is open a random session on a random day on their trading or backtesting platform, right? They start the backtesting for a while, then close the session, and next time they open a new session and repeat the process. Now, while I do the same when I post backtesting videos on my channel, right? You noticed that before, but that's purely for showing you how my strategy works, all right? Not how you should gather data. And a lot of you, I believe, they're doing the same. They're copying my approach in backtesting, and they just open random sessions and they start taking trades and they do the same the next day. No, this is not how you should gather data. The data that I collect in those random sessions is not what I use to evaluate my strategy. I don't even look at them. When I backtest seriously, I conduct intensive and structured backtesting sessions and never abandon the session midway, right? That's the first problem. The second problem is taking trades just to see what happens. So this is a really common problem, is that traders take trades, and I'm talking about in the backtesting session as always. They take trades that meet the strategy conditions, but also take trades just to see what happens, right? Since there is no real money at risk. And this right here clouds the statistical data and compromises the accuracy of your results. So for example, if you backtest 100 trades this way, you're mixing valid trades with random ones. You won't have real data to evaluate your edge. So if your strategy, for example, appears unprofitable, there's a good chance that the data is compromised and unreliable. And that's the second problem. So how do we fix this and gather clean and accurate data? I have 4 steps that if you follow, I guarantee you that you will come up with a solution at the end. You're gonna identify the real problem, and then you can easily find a solution, right? But you need to follow these 4 steps to the T. So let's start with step 1. First of all, you want to start a fresh backtesting session, right? And you want to aim to take 100 trades. Now, if you trade Euro USD, for example, you can switch to a different pair, like GU. This is just to avoid that subconscious bias from memorizing the higher time frame. But if maybe you can go back 3 or 4 years and you know that you don't remember the higher time frame, so this is just, you can do that. So this is just to gather clean and biased data, alright? If you think that you will not be biased by memorizing the higher time frame from different years, you can definitely trade and backtest the same asset that you're trading live, right? Now that's the first step. The second step is you want to journal every single trade. You want to take a screenshot and log the following details: the entry reason, stop loss placement, and take profit reason, and whether the trade followed your plan or not. Now these are just common columns that you can add, but of course you can add more based on how you trade, alright? So be creative here. That's step 2. Now step 3, and I know that between step 1 and step 2 it's gonna take days, maybe weeks, based on your schedule, but these are mandatory and they need to be done. Now step 3 is to categorize your trades into 2 groups. So after gathering those 100 trades and journal them all, now you want to categorize trades that fully met your strategy conditions, regardless of win or loss, alright? because even if you meet all the conditions, you're going to take losers and winners. Now the second group is trades that were taken impulsively just to see what happens. So they were short in terms of conditions, and they didn't check all the conditions. The environment was, maybe you trade in a trend, clear trend, and those trades were taken in a ranging environment, right? So you want to group them there. Now that's step 3, categorizing your trades into 2 groups. Step 4 is you want to keep taking trades, right? So continue with that session until you have 100 trades that strictly follow your strategy conditions, right? And that's the first category, right? This is your clean data set. So again, you're gonna have 100 trades in step 2 or step 1. Then you're gonna categorize them into trades that were part of your plan, met all the conditions, and then trades that were taken just to see what happens. And you want for the first category to have 100 trades. You're gonna keep taking trades until you reach 100. This is just to have a decent data set to evaluate the strategy, to make judgments on it, right? Now, the last step is to analyze your data, the last phase rather than step. Once you have now 100 trades that meet your strategy rules, now you can have real statistical data of your strategy in a perfect environment. All right, in a perfect environment where every single trade were taken followed every single condition of your strategy. Now, if your strategy is profitable in this perfect environment, your issue is not the strategy. It's your psychology and discipline when executing in a live markets. Now, if your strategy is not profitable even in a perfect environment, then your strategy itself is the problem. And in this case, you need to do either you can tweak your conditions, adjust your risk management, right? So maybe the risk to reward is not right. Maybe you are taking 1 hour on every single trade while you should take 1.5. Maybe you should take 2, or maybe you are taking 2 and you should be taking 1.5. You can figure this out by those 100 trade clean data set. Or maybe you can switch, or you need to switch to a completely different system or a strategy because it's not working even in a perfect environment. So again, maybe you are taking trades that are based on reversals when you should be following the trend. Maybe your risk to reward is too small or too big, right? This phase will allow you to make those adjustments. And this is how you can tweak your strategy. This is how you can jump to another system based on data and not just emotions, not just because you took some random 2 losses or 3 losses in your live trading and now you take your strategy is not working. This is data telling you that your strategy is not working or it's working, and then you have to work on your psychology, right? Because a lot of traders, they don't have an edge and they go read psychology books. Those will help you actually in embracing failing at evils, right? You will not feel that bad because of those books. That's it. You're not gonna get payouts. But the key takeaway is that this approach will allow you to identify exactly what's holding you back, right? Whether it's your strategy again or your mindset or your psychology. So most traders fail because they don't know what's wrong and they try to fix problems that aren't the real reason behind their inconsistency, even if those problems are real, but they're not, or they don't have direct relation to their inconsistencies. So that's all what I want to talk about in this video. Maybe you can watch it again if you didn't, or you missed some of the steps, because you need to write that down and you need to follow it to the T, this approach that I gave you. It takes time to do all of them, but I believe that if you have more than a year in trading, I believe that you know that there is no shortcuts in this field and it's the only way, right? And I believe that you will follow all of them. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, you can always DM me in my Twitter account, or you can leave a comment down below and I will answer you as soon as I can. Now, happy trading and good luck.